Review sheet E, question 2. It says very clearly it's essential to sketch an appropriate graph first to solve these things. Well, this first one, we don't need to multiply it out because it's already been factorised for us. We know that this would equal 0 when x is minus 1 and when x is 4. These are the two important points. So on my graph here, I know it's going to cross here at minus 1 and at 4, and I know it's a quadratic, I know it's a positive quadratic, and it looks like this. I'm asked for when it is lower than 0. So it's lower than 0 here. It's lower than 0 in all this bit, when minus 1 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 4. There's one part here, so I've got one solution part. Here's the second one, and we've got to factorise this ourselves. So two things that multiply together to give 21, 3 and 7, and it's going to be plus 7 and minus 3 to give what we need. We want this to be greater than or equal to 0. Well, the interesting points again are going to be at 3 and at minus 7. So let's put these on our graph. Minus 7 and 3. Positive graph again. Doesn't need to be accurate. I mean, down here is minus 21, but it doesn't need to be accurate. Now we want it greater than 0. We want it above the line. So we want this part here and this part here. We want when x is lower than or equal to minus 7, less than or equal to minus 7, or greater than or equal to 3. There's two parts to this that are bigger than the line, so I've got two parts to my answer. Same idea here. You might recognise this as a difference of two squares. So I've got 4 plus x and 4 minus x. So it's crossing at minus 4 and at 4. Let's put that on my graph. Minus 4 and 4. Now be careful this time. This is at minus x squared, so it's a sad graph. It's going down like that, and we know this point here actually is 16 because that's 16 there. We want it to be bigger than 0, so we want this part here. This part here is between minus 4 and 4. There's one part, so I've got one part to the answer. Last one's just a more complicated factorisation. I've got a minus outside here, so I'm going to change the sign of everything in here, and then I'll factorise it. And so what have I got? I've got 3 and 2, and it's a minus 3 and a plus 2. So it's crossing at 3 and at minus 2, 3 from this, minus 2 from this, and because it's a minus x squared, we know it's going like this, and I can tell here that it's crossing at 6, because there's a 6 there. It says less than 0, so that's that bit down there, when x is lower than minus 2, and that bit down there, when x is bigger than 3. Two parts, because there's two parts of the graph.